No radio? No problem. Stream us live on saga960am.ca. You are listening to New Theory Radio.
Hello and welcome to another edition of New Theory Radio here live on News Talk Saga 960 AM. My name is Nav Nanwa. I am your host, and this is the show where we theorize on all things current affairs, pop culture, and everyday life. Happy Sunday to you and yours. It's a bit of a nice Sunday. It was a little wet earlier today, and now it's a little nice, which I'm truly loving. And what I also love is the show I have lined up for you for the next 2 hours. As you know, we like to theorize on just about everything. And a lot of interesting happenings this week as I'm going to be joined by two comedians. Well, actually, one's based in Brampton and one's based in Mississauga. So that's a great tie-in here on the show. I got from Brampton. He is a popular comedian that performs quite regularly in Toronto. He actually has a show that he puts together each and every Friday called Comedy Pow in downtown Toronto. It is my good friend Ernie Vicente. And joining him is a good friend of his, another comedian that I've seen actually live a couple times. Actually, I just found out that him and I technically were on the same show. Now I wasn't doing comedy. I was curating some music for the show, but he actually performed afterwards and did a comedy set that I remember being really hilarious, and that's Ricardo Miejias. And both individuals are going to be helping me theorize on three different topics. Number one, we're going to talk about what it means to look Canadian. And I put that in quotations because if you're living under a rock, you might have seen a video. Well, actually, if you were living under a rock, you probably didn't see the video. But I'm sure everyone who's listening has seen the video of NDP leader and Prime Minister candidate Jagmeet Singh being approached in Quebec by a citizen and being told to cut his turban off. And the reason that he was told that was that he can look more Canadian. And it actually sparked quite the dialogue, which you probably could expect. And there was a lot of conversation this week about what it means to look Canadian, as that was the core reasoning that this individual had given Jagmeet when it came to telling him to do that exact act. So I'm going to get Ernie and Ricardo's opinion on that. Mind you, three people of color that are going to be talking about that and probably sharing some experiences. We're also going to talk about pro wrestling. Now, if you listen to New Theory Radio, you know I talk about wrestling quite a lot. I am a big wrestling fan. But this week, there's a wrestling war that started on Wednesday nights. One with WWE and their developmental brand NXT, which is quite popular amongst the youth, quite popular amongst internet fans. And the other is a new startup pro wrestling league by the name of AEW, All Elite Wrestling, which is actually headed by Tony Khan, who is the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, for any NFL fans out there, as well as Cody Rhodes, who is the son of the world famous, ever popular Dusty Rhodes, as well as the Young Bucks, which is a popular internet tag team, and Kenny Omega, who's from Winnipeg, who took the New Japan wrestling scene by storm. And both shows are on at the same time. Actually, AEW airs on TSN, which is quite interesting, considering that a lot of Canadians were now able to tune in and not able to tune into the other show. But it seems this could be the start of a wrestling boom, and both Ricardo and Ernie are fans, so I thought it'd be great to get their perspectives on that as well, and to get their theories on whether this will actually lead to a wrestling boom, because a lot of people in my network were wrestling fans in the late 90s, early 2000s, when there was a WWE, or known as the WWF back then, as well as WCW. Actually, I want to give a huge shout out to Dave Bastille on the Mike Richards show, as every Friday he likes to do like a top 10 wrestling list. I know this week was top 10 tag teams. Shouts to the Hart Foundation. So it'll be interesting to get both of their perspectives on that. And then we are going to also, because Ricardo and Ernie are both comedians, one thing that was making quite the headlines this week, especially if you were in and around the Club District or the old Club District in downtown Toronto, there was massive lines leading into Yuck Yucks on Richmond Street. And quite frankly, those massive lines were for Louis C.K., who, if you aren't familiar with Louis C.K., he was a very popular comedian, looks to still be a very popular comedian, but he was considered, quote in quotations, canceled for apparently masturbating in front of women randomly. And it's quite fascinating. I think we've touched on Louis C.K. Actually, that's probably not the right thing to say. I think we've talked about Louis C.K. A number of different times here on the show, but we're going to talk about him again because it seems that he was able to get I forgot how many shows in a row, but he was doing a number of sold out shows in a row in downtown Toronto, which to me tells me that there's a demographic of his, or there's a subsection of his fans that have not canceled him. So we're going to talk about whether or not he should be canceled and whether or not this is actually something that we should be looking deep into. And when we have time, we're also going to talk about how to be happy, because Ernie Vicente does a very hilarious Instagram series called How to Be Happy. It's his motivational speaker, I guess, series that he does on the gram. And it's truly funny, and I thought we could tie that into the show as well. We have a jam-packed show. We also have the community segment towards the end of the show. I'm going to be joined by Yanique Brandford, who is the owner and the founder of a awesome charity called Help a Girl Out, and we're going to talk about an initiative that she's doing for the holidays that's benefiting underprivileged girls in Jamaica, and a whole bunch more on this week's New Theory Radio. So stay tuned. We are going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, I'm going to be joined by Ernie and Ricardo, and we are going to get things started here on News Talk Saga 960. And we are back here on New Theory Radio on News Talk Saga 960 AM. My name is Nav Nanwa. I am your host, and this is the show where we theorize on all things current affairs, pop culture, and everyday life. And it's about that time that we start theorizing here on the show. And I guess I should welcome my panelists, my guests, two comedians that represent, well, one represents Brampton and one represents Mississauga. So we got the Peel region in the house, but you guys don't do shows in the Peel region, right?
No, it's because most of the shows are in Toronto because most of the crowds are there.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's tougher to produce a show in Brampton.
Straight up, just start with the hottest take ever.
Yeah.
I got Ernie Vicente, who is a very popular comedian, Comedy Pow each and every Friday.
Hello, yes, thank you. Thanks for having me every Friday, 129er.
Awesome. And joining him is Ricardo Miejias.
Oh, yeah.
Ricardo, what's going on, man? From Mississauga, representing.
Represent 905, Raptors 905 champions. Yeah.
Raptors 905 champions. Not even the Raptors championship from this year. Raptors 905 from 2 years.
2 years ago.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah, man. I got that championship ring, too.
Did you?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you went to game one.
Oh, yeah.
Of the new season when they didn't win.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did.
But you know what? The Raptors 905 produced Van Vliet. They produced Siakam, Powell. Man, that's a Stackhouse. He was definitely all over that for sure.
Oh man, it was so great.
Yeah. It's actually interesting because I went to a 905 game, and it's actually good basketball too.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a little sloppy sometimes though, but it's like. It's like watching a regular Raptors game.
Totally.
The same atmosphere, same promotions and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And closer to home.
Yeah.
Totally. He lives right beside it.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, Hershey Center?
I live
you can just walk.
Yeah.
Actually, it's called the Paramount Food Center now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What was it before?
Hershey
Center.
So we went from chocolate to shawarma.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, shout outs to Mohammed Faki, the owner of Paramount Fine Foods. I met him once.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I met him twice. Yeah. He's a nice guy. He wore this very expensive suit.
Of course.
You can tell right away that his business was doing well.
He's Paramount.
Yeah, he's definitely Paramount. But guys, thanks so much for joining me. I know it's always fun to have comedians on the show because I find that there's always a lot of laughs, hopefully. So hopefully you guys can maintain that bar, that standard.
Yeah. A lot of pressure here.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. But wanted to talk about a few things. Here's what we do on New Theory Radio. We kind of throw out topics and we just discuss them. First and foremost, I wanted to talk about what it means to look Canadian. obviously this week, if you pay attention to the news, you saw Jagmeet Singh, who is the NDP leader running to become prime minister with his party, get approached on a street by somebody, by an old man in Quebec, and pretty much the dude went up to him and told him to go cut his hair. And it got really awkward. It was an awkward exchange, and it was all caught on camera by CBC. But to me, I think that sparked quite the interesting conversation about what it means to, in quotations, look Canadian. And I'm wondering, maybe Ricardo, being with you, has anyone ever came up to you about the way you look and been like, hey, maybe you should dye your hair blonde, or maybe you should brighten your skin up or something like that?
No, never. Nothing like that's ever happened to me. But there was this one time I was coming after a show, and this guy came up. He was just questioning me.
Really?
Yeah, just like, where am I from? Like, who am I? Basically.
Wow, really?
And he's like, he was trying to guess, like he was guessing different races and everything. But I'm just told him, I'm Chilean. I'm half Chilean. Like, I'm Chilean, like blood, right?
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
He still couldn't understand it. I don't know why. He
just came up to you and just started calling, like, say, hey, you must be, you must be Chinese.
Yeah, something like that. I'm like,
wow.
No. Wrong race, sir. And this is highly offensive. Thank you so much. Yeah.
But what actually gives people the right to do that? I don't know.
I have no idea. Like, to be honest, that whole Jamit thing. Sorry if I sings. Yeah. If I pronounce his last name wrong.
It's usually the easiest last name to say too.
I know, right? But I have no idea how this guy it's like this guy can just come out of nowhere and just say, "Hey, man, try to be more Canadian," you know?
Yeah.
Like, Jimmy Singh is like representing what the new generation of Canadians are, basically. There's more diverse. Like, we're all second generation or first generation Canadians.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we all came from somewhere else. We're not like we weren't all born here, you know?
Exactly.
But we all add our own little flavor to the country.
Yeah. To me, it kind of showed just what some of the underlying issues might be in Quebec.
Yeah.
And now, when I go to Quebec, I'm going to get a little worried now too. Again, are they going to look at me differently and be like, oh, like does this? It kind of showcases the underlying racism that might be in existence, but racism that isn't considered racism probably in those neck of the woods. Ernie, what's your thoughts on this?
I feel it was more like it's kind of like ignorance, because I saw the clip. It was like he's a really old dude, and like
super old, like
yeah. So like they grew up, you know. This is like 80 years of like white, you know what I mean? So I think they're trying to adjust, but it's just like you can't teach an old dog new tricks, you know? Because like I do a lot of shows like outside of the further from like downtown you go, the more like white it gets, kind of thing.
Where's like the furthest place you've done a show?
So actually, I have a story about. So we did a show in Sarnia. Yeah.
I've only drove through, because you drive through Sarnia when you're trying to get to Windsor, right?
Yeah. But we were doing shows there, and it was like the whitest town. And so after the show, me and my friend, we just did the show, and like we were drinking and stuff, and then so we might have been a lot of. Whatever. I'm not gonna say what drinks we were drinking, but
a little bit of the bubbly.
A little bit of the bubbly. There we go.
We had a lot of the bubbly, actually, and then a
lot of soda. Eh?
Yeah. So this old white guy came up to me. He's like, "Yeah, what are you like, Chinese?"
Oh man.
I'm like, nothing about the show or anything. Just like, "Are you Chinese?" I'm like, I'm Filipino.
Yeah.
And then he actually said, good show there, Phil.
Wow.
What?
So he thought Filipino was your name.
He thought my name was Filipino. So I was like, what the heck's going on? And then so it was actually my roommate that was he was dying, and he's like, that's the funniest. I'm like, I was so like drunk. I'm like, did that happen?
Yeah.
Did that really happen? And he's like, yo, you have to say that on stage.
There was one incident, and this actually was more telling of the U.S., where I went to South by Southwest with a really dope rapper named Noise, who's actually big in the Brampton area, another big wrestling band, by the way. And I remember we saw another Indian guy at the show, And he was like, really, he's like, oh, you guys are killing it. Yeah, like really like supporting us. And Noise and B Magic go on the stage and they absolutely kill it. Then after, he's like, look, man, he's like, your set was amazing, but you should probably change your name. And like Noise is like, what should I change my name to? Mm-hmm. He's like, the Turbinator. And we all looked at each other and we're like, this guy's South Asian too, and he just made that remark, and we honestly just wanted to disassociate. We're like, this is not in the right space at all. But that's the craziest thing, is that people can just freely do this. Like I think we've all been guilty in regards to one day or another typecasting people as being one specific race. Like Ricardo, you probably get, I don't know, Mexican.
Yeah, Hawaiian.
Hawaiian. Ernie, you probably get Chinese. I get Indian, but like no other type of Indian. It's just Indian. So it's like, it can be Aboriginal. It can be anything. Yeah. And I find that like, as soon as you start to get cultured, or you start to surround yourself with people, obviously that all changes, and you have a bit more respect in regards to where people are from. Yeah. But then you got videos like that came out this week, like that old man approaching to me, and you're like, man, people are, and you always thought Canada was a lot better too. Clearly not. Clearly, like, that hasn't been the case.
No, but he was very nice.
Yeah, he was super nice about it.
He was super nice about it.
He's actually a very nice guy.
Look more Canadian.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm trying to help you win. But be more Canadian.
Yeah. Has anyone ever came up to you and told you, hey, you should probably change your look? Like, especially being in like the entertainment industry, like, has anyone ever told you, hey, you may want to change this aspect of you to appeal to this crowd?
Well, my family always tells me to lose weight.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Same thing with me, but like everybody tells me that.
Oh God, no. No, this is getting super deep. This is getting super deep. Oh no, he's crying.
He just ran out of the room. Oh, he's going back to Chile, Ontario. That's where he's going.
Chile, Ontario. Yeah. Chile, Ontario. Is that where Wyerton Willie's from?
Yeah. They have a nice Walmart there.
Yeah. Oh, really? Really. What I also find unique about when it comes to people calling out race, I find that in the comedy world, like, you guys have both been a part of comedy shows that have sort of played the race game in regards to bringing together a total group of comedians under one race. Like Ernie, you're telling me you actually toured with Big Norm on like a Filipino show.
Yeah, Filipino comedy tour.
Yeah, Ricardo, have you done any show? Like, I think there was one bill I saw you on.
I did like Yuck Yucks in Spanish. Show.
Yeah.
And it was like all Spanish speaking comics.
Oh, so you were doing your comedy in Spanish?
Yeah,
crazy. Man.
It somewhat worked, somewhat didn't work.
Really?
Yeah. You can really review online, sadly.
No. No video though, right?
No video, thank God.
But like, do you find that when you decide to take part in these ethnic focused comedy shows, that it's an opportunity to almost educate a lot of maybe the Caucasian crowd that might be coming out?
Yeah, for sure. Like, anything to help spread the word and like show that Filipinos are funny, because there's only like 5 of us in Canada.
No, there's gotta be more, man.
But like after the show, after the tour, people were like younger Filipinos were like messaging me like, hey, I want to do this, you know what I mean? So it's pretty cool that we helped inspire them.
Inspire.
Inspire. So that's just a cheap plug to my.
Have you actually, like, I was wondering, have you ever been to Winnipeg? There's a large Filipino contingent.
There is. I actually dated a girl.
Ooh,
it's getting interesting.
Turn the lights down low.
Oh, jeez.
Where are my candles? I dated a girl there, and then she. She lived right in Winnipeg. So I went there for 3 days, and it was the coldest 3 days
it was
in my life.
Yeah.
And like, so usually you fly to like Pearson Airport,
and
then you drive a bit, whatever, to your house. But she lived like right next to the airport, so she picked me up, and then we were driving. I'm like, she's like, "How's the flight?" I'm like, "Oh, it was really good." Well, we're here. I'm like, "What?" Wow. She lived right beside.
Really? Eh?
Yeah.
I was just in Winnipeg in August. So I've actually seen the area around the airport. It's okay.
Yeah,
I don't know, Winnipeg
tiny.
is like weird.
This studio is like the airport.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
It actually
like
is.
I got off the plane and I'm like, oh, there she is. It's not like there's no sign. Just like, oh, there she is.
She was like sitting there with like a microphone, like ready to
No
record
sign.
a podcast with you. Yeah,
She's sitting very far. Hey,
Yeah.
I see.
and then I'm assuming that relationship didn't work out.
We have to go.
Nav, I don't think you should talk about that.
Okay, I won't.
Now I'm running to Chile on TV. No, it was too cold. But there were a lot of Filipinos there. So a lot of people keep telling me that like you should do shows there in Winnipeg, and then it'll sell out because like
I think so, man. Because like I was there, and part of my day job was to look at that market, and the Filipino crowd out there definitely over indexes. Apparently a lot of them are moving out there, apparently in Saskatchewan as well.
We actually did me and Keith Pager we did a show in Edmonton.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. A lot of Filipinos there too.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
All over.
Yeah. You guys taking over.
We're taking over.
A couple of my coworkers are from the Philippines. They just moved over to Alberta too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
They're like, forget Ontario, not feeling it.
Yeah, but then they just walked into the snowstorm this past week.
I know. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I actually, does it surprise you guys that, and just going back to the original topic, like does it surprise you guys that since that video dropped, that even when you were to poll like the polls for seeing what party's in the lead, that it hasn't really caused any positive movement for the NDP? Does it surprise you? Like, does that almost tell you that race is a real thing in Canada and people are actually there's actually big issues here?
I'm pretty sure like a lot of people are racist, but a lot of people are better at hiding it than others. That's what happened in the U.S.
That's scary, man. There's like this really odd underbelly that like totally exists that we have like no idea about. Like all these people just live in their basements that just don't I guess adhere to society and just do their thing. And when it comes to elections, they come out and vote in full force.
Yeah. There are a lot of people out there, but at the same time, there are a lot of people that are not. So, especially like those people that come to like shows and stuff, I can feel that they're appreciative that we're there.
Have you guys ever had a racist heckler?
Not really. No.
I haven't had any.
No way.
I really get heckled.
Yeah.
Because my stuff is very...
it's very good, right?
It's pretty much the best. You can't heckle the best. Hey, you're so good. Stop it.
Stop. You're interrupting my really good set.
Get out of here. Jeez.
So, like, where do you guys see this going? Like, do you guys actually think that we'll probably see more of these types of incidents taking place? Like
in the election, you mean?
Or in general, like people just calling, like I feel like Six Buzz always has like something new coming up. I remember seeing, I remember seeing because it's crazy because Jimmy being told to cut his hair to look more Canadian was something that like a lot of people in my family had faced like coming to Canada. And they kind of did it out of fear. Like they unfortunately they decided to change their look because they wanted to fit in. Which now I think, as much as non-Indian people were being like, oh my God, this is bad. Like this was something that was in my community, like well known for a long time. Yeah. Which is kind of nuts. I know, Ernie, you're from Brampton, so you probably have a lot of South Asian friends that have gone through this.
I went to Sheridan College. Shout out.
Oh, Sheridan College is killing it right now with the international students.
Yeah. So all my friends were
international.
Yeah. Those internationals.
Those internationals.
I don't know their names.
Oh man. Man. You don't know their names, but they were all your friends.
Yeah. Like, hey, you. International.
So are you telling me that you played the what's the spot? The Den? Is it called the Den in Sheridan?
I did the Den.
Oh yeah, you played it?
No, but like here's I went to Sheridan. I took accounting.
Wow.
And as you can see, I've been using it to the fullest. And
it's great with his taxes.
Yeah. Not even.
Oh, okay.
This is like 13 years ago. But then I played the Den like I think 5 years ago or something.
Really?
Yeah. So I was so excited. I was like, oh man, have you been there?
I have. I ran an event there last year. It's a cool spot. You know what? I think it's the closest thing that Brampton has to a legit club / bar.
Yeah. It's a good
even though it's for your college
music
students,
venue.
Yeah,
like if you have like a band or like a concert kind of
huge,
concert.
man.
It's too big for comedy.
It is.
You know, because like the ceilings are really high.
It was also too big for the event that I had done too. I did like a DJ event there.
Really?
And it was like we had a lot of people there, but it was so spread out that it was it was people were just kind of hanging out, doing their own thing. Plus they had those booths in the corner. So people were literally just getting wasted,
like couches and
taking a nap. Which is so
cool. So we did the show there. And then I was driving there. I'm like, my homecoming. This is gonna be the best. You know.
You thought they're going to roll out the red carpet?
Yeah, like, oh my God, our baby boy has come home.
And then there's
the prodigal son. I went out there and I bombed.
Oh, you bombed?
Oh, not really bombed, but like, you know, I never bombed. But
yeah,
and then I don't even know what that means.
Oh my God!
No, but like it just wasn't as fun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because the room was so big and like, because you know, if we do a show here in the studio, you can feel the laughter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, but there it's like so big that you're like, hello.
Yeah.
You know, so it didn't feel as fun as I wanted it to be.
Ricardo, where'd you go for undergrad or post-secondary?
I went to Humber College.
Sweet.
I went for graphic design.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I think I saw that in your Instagram handle.
Yeah. So. And then I got let go from my job.
Okay. Sorry, man. And, this conversation's getting really deep.
I started doing comedy.
Oh, and now you're a millionaire.
And I'm here. You know? No, but it's been great. I actually work at a facility. I can't say what it is.
That's fine. I never really disclosed my day job either.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool. I work with a bunch of cool people and stuff like that, so it's not bad.
How often does race play a role in your sets?
A little bit. Like I have a few. Like I actually do that bit about the Sarnia stuff.
Oh, you do, eh?
Yeah. And I talk about like dating.
I thought your name was Filipino. That's brilliant, man.
That's my opener.
You should trademark that Filipino. And
actually, I have T-shirts that say Phil on it.
Where can they find those T-shirts? You
can find them at earntourage.com.
Oh wow! Oh, is that what you're wearing right now?
Oh, this whole thing. Oh, I just threw this on. I didn't even know there was going to be a cameraman here.
I honestly thought you were wearing an Entourage T-shirt.
That happens a lot.
And I was like, this dude's a fan. Like, he's a true fan.
I'm a fan of Entourage.
That show does not age well, though, man.
No.
I actually watched the Entourage movie like last year, and I'm like, man, like as much as the music was awesome and like the whole mystique of you being with your boys and doing it up in Hollywood. It was like some things were like, man, this is borderline like Me Too / I don't know, just weird.
Yeah. I know. No, because what happened was like when I first started 11 years ago.
Because I think it's been that long.
It's been that long. Well,
so you started at age 11.
I started. Yeah. That's right. I started at -2. 2 years before I was born. I'm 13. No, wait, no, I'm 9. I'm not.
Yeah, it's like -2.
I'm not good at Asian math.
Yeah. Oh wow.
No, so I because like back then, like I'd do shows like once a month or something.
Yeah.
And then so I didn't know any comics or like I didn't have any fans or anything, but like so I'd bring my friends. So I'd pick up like 4 of them.
Yeah.
And we'd pack in my car and then go to these shows, and then I'd call them my Entourage.
Nice.
And then now
you just copy or infringe the logo. So I'm assuming Ricardo made it for you.
No, I didn't. I have no idea.
I made this myself. I just put the little star.
Nice, man. Nice. It's like download the font from defont.com.
Yeah. And I was like, when I make it big, I'm gonna have my own turtle to drive me around. And
so is he like waiting outside for you right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He wants to go to the washroom with me. I pay you to wait.
Oh, jeez. Ricardo, have you ever played with race in your sets?
No, man. I tend to stay away from it.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of ethnic comics in Toronto, and they all have some similar stories. Yeah. I just don't want to. I'd rather just do something different.
Yeah.
Than everyone else.
And that's the thing too. Like I find that when you have, and this is not a discredit to the Russell Peters, Sugar Sammys, or the Trevor Noahs of the world, but when they start including racial jokes into their sets, I guess I don't know. Like I guess that sort of gives people who are not that race maybe the permission to either laugh at it or be open ended in their questions.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, man. It's crazy to see the filter that people gain or don't gain when it comes to things that they want to ask people.
Yeah.
Like it's so weird, but I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. The polls are coming up. I'm a little nervous, but what can you do, right?
Who are you voting for?
Who am I voting for? I can't disclose that on the air.
Okay, I was gonna reveal mine.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna do it if you do first.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not gonna disclose that.
Okay.
I'm still undecided.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for all the candidates to show up at my door and talk to me personally and buy me a coffee.
I met Singing.
Oh yeah.
One time. He didn't treat me that well.
Really?
Yeah.
I've actually known him for a long time. Yeah, tell me this. What happened?
I was at the Bollywood mashup.
Oh yeah.
And it was before the show. He was there walking around with his own entourage, actually.
Oh, his own entourage.
Yeah, his own entourage.
He had my entourage?
Yeah, he had his shirt on.
Where were you? 3 years ago.
Actually, you know what? Now I remember. I think he was there with that shirt on.
Yeah, right?
Oh, it's not for sale.
I will say strong handshake, but he did make me seem like I was like nothing.
Oh, wow.
So I was like...
sorry to hear about that, man.
That's all right. I'm sure he's a good guy.
So were you on the Quebec citizen side of the equation? Like, were you rooting for him in that exchange?
I always root for the ethnic guy.
Ricardo was filming it.
I was filming it.
Yeah,
I even told the old guy to go up to him.
Oh my god! Wow.
No. No, but I just hope he's a good candidate. He's a good.
He is. He truly is. Yeah. And even what he came up with, what he came out with yesterday regarding in the indigenous communities and getting clean water.
Exactly.
Like I met Jamaica a bunch of times, and he is a really nice guy. He's someone that really cares and is compassionate. Unfortunately, it looks like there's within his party, there's a lot of issues.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? It's like I find this election, and again, this will be the last time we talk about it on today's show because I find that's kind of killing the vibe. But I find this election is just weird. Like overall, like I saw your reaction video to the brown face. Was that actually at a wedding and someone put it up on the screen?
No, that was actually from an old. It was my cousin's wedding a few years ago, and then I think the priest said her name wrong or something.
And you reacted like that?
I reacted. I don't know why. But if you look at the video, no one else sold it except me.
But the way you sold it, it's very comedic, but it looks like it's very planned too.
No, but I didn't even know that there was a camera on me.
Yeah,
you know what that video needed? The Curb Your Enthusiasm theme right after that.
It did. Yeah. I find that in any situation like that, you had the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme at the end. We just had a deep political conversation earlier.
We did.
Yeah.
I've never talked that much about politics.
It was intense, man. I don't know. And then Ernie started asking me who I was going to vote for, and I got super closed off.
Yeah, a little personal there.
It did, yeah. I was like crazy. Isn't that a crime to ask that? Or no, I think it's a crime if your employer asks you that.
Really?
Yeah. So I guess I can't work for you.
Oh, you're fired.
Oh, okay. Speaking of, you're fired. I don't know. That's a bad segue.
Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon is fired.
Shane O'Mac.
Apparently, fired until WrestleMania next year. We do talk about wrestling here a lot on New Theory Radio because I'm a wrestling fan and it is my show and I could choose the topics. But this week was a pretty crazy week in wrestling. I thought it'd be good to talk to both Ricardo and Ernie about it. On Wednesday was the premiere of a brand new wrestling company called All Elite Wrestling, or AEW, which is owned by Tony Khan, who, if you are an NFL fan, owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, as well as one of the was it Fordham Football Club, I think.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. He owns a lot. Like his dad, I forgot his dad's name. Another Khan is super famous. And it's also with Cody Rhodes, who's the son of Dusty Rhodes, as well as Kenny Omega from Winnipeg, who killed New Japan for a couple of years, and as well as the Young Bucks, which is a tag team that's been taking the wrestling world by storm. And it premiered on Wednesday, had some fantastic ratings in the U.S. as well as some decent ratings in Canada. I saw them as well on TSN. And it's competing against WWE's NXT brand, which is like their developmental league. But for some people, it's probably the only thing that they watch when it comes to WWE because of the athleticism and the wrestling and just the roster that's involved. And it was interesting, man. Like, I felt on social media... number one, I felt that the last time I've seen wrestling come up in a lot of conversations like this probably was when there was WCW and WWF at the time. And I don't know about you guys, but I think once WCW ended in 2001, I had a lot of my friends just sort of fall off on pro wrestling, and a lot of them haven't come back. Like they'll probably watch the odd WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, or ladder match, or tune in on Raw and be like, "Oh, who's this guy?" But it's interesting because now with AEW in the question, I've had a few people reach out to me, even when I was posting about it on my socials, being like, "Oh, like, yeah, I might check this out." I just threw on TSN and just saw some random wrestling, and even seeing it on TSN was kind of nostalgic as well.
It was.
I remember as a kid watching Raw on TSN, or even watching Nitro reruns on TSN. So, I want to get your theories on this warfare or this battle between WWE and AEW, and do you think this will lead to a new wrestling boom? Considering the fact that the combined ratings, even though AEW beat NXT, the combined ratings on that Wednesday in the U.S. was like close to 3 million that tuned in to both shows on Wednesday. What are your thoughts, Ernie? We'll begin with you.
Well, if you want to hear my new theory about this.
Oh, snap. Oh.
Anyway, Nav pays me every time I say that. The name of the show.
So far, you're up to 25 cents.
Thank you, new theory. Nav, sorry. Yes, I think because there's so many wrestling fans that are going to come back. I believe.
Yeah.
Because after WCW ended, WWE or F, whatever, they could do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And so basically they became like PG, and a lot of my friends, because we're all in like our 30s, we all got turned off, right? So I still followed it, I still like read what happened, but I wasn't into it like I was Wednesday. Like Wednesday was like, wow, I actually watched like both shows.
I did too. I had dual screens, man. I'd even do that when like TNA competed against WWE.
I did.
You did that too?
I did.
You were like a TNA guy, eh?
No. It was just cool to have like another Monday night war kind of thing. But they didn't.
Shout outs to Impact Wrestling. Raj Singh, who wrestles on Impact Wrestling, actually is a big fan of New Theory Radio. So
nice.
shout outs to Raj.
Shout out to Raj, man.
Yeah. Sorry, you were saying.
Yeah. So, but they didn't. Impact didn't have the buzz that AEW had. Like these guys are a threat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They are, man. And a lot of that has to do with the money that's involved. They're throwing. This is like a serious startup. This is like, especially when you have a Khan family behind it who were big in the NFL and big in the Premier League. Like those are sports that demand billions of dollars when it comes to even being able to have a team in these leagues.
Yeah.
And they just randomly partner up with a couple of wrestlers that are big on the internet and start something brand new. Like, it felt like a world-class product when I watched it on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ricardo, what are your thoughts?
Oh, man. Well, like you guys were saying, man, like a lot of people fell off. And like... just until recently, until like the Bullet Club started and came back. I think that's when wrestling started becoming a little bit more cooler, because like I know some people who started watching wrestling once like the Young Bucks and like Kenny Omega joined that group, and they probably didn't even know about these guys, but they saw the T-shirts everywhere now. Like you see the logo with the Bullet Club, and then they wanted to eventually gain interest in AEW because they had that web series all being the Elite. And then with that one bet against with Dave Meltzer, who's a famous wrestling journalist, saying you can't sell out a 10,000 seat arena, and these four guys decided to sell it out, and then decided to make a promotion the next year. Is crazy.
Yeah, that's like the ultimate, like especially when you start a business. Yeah, like all you need is one opportunity to validate, and then you're off to the races.
Yeah, and then now it's even crazier. But like, I kind of felt like WWE just switched their whole thing like the past week, you know, because like they had that Fox deal with SmackDown, and SmackDown seemed so much different than they did the last 20 years they were on, or whatever, you know?
Like, the SmackDown show on Friday felt different.
Yeah.
Like, it felt top-notch. It's even crazier because I have a lot of NFL fans. Like, actually, my wife's a big Saints fan. She's probably not listening to the show right now. She's probably watching the Saints game, which is fine. I told her it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's nuts because there's a lot of people that play fantasy NFL, like, at my work, and a couple of them came out to me and was like, hey, I know you're a wrestling fan. I saw something about SmackDown on the NFL game the other day, and I was like, that's nuts. Like, they were actually like, it was top of mind. So like kudos to WWE for even using the NFL to do that, because usually like they're trying to fight off the NFL's ratings on like Mondays.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but now it's like they're fully involved. They got that $4 billion like deal with the Fox, right? So, but now I think it all changed because of this AEW stuff, man.
I know,
like AEW like seemed like it just came out of nowhere, which it basically did.
But that's like any situation. Like, as soon as you get competition, like, I think that's when it starts to heat things up. Like, I think we've all felt like at one point or another that WWE was kind of stagnant, and you had your friends fall off and not watch. But then you had hardcores like me that would stick around because you were like hoping like the next that Monday or that Tuesday or that Friday or that Thursday was going to be it.
No, but they didn't care. Like, they didn't have any competition. You know what I mean? So like whatever they put out, everyone's gonna eat it up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They monopolized the industry basically.
Yeah, they did. They totally did.
Well, they had a shot with TNA once, but then TNA screwed themselves over basically, and with their booking and stuff like that, which didn't make much sense. And then now AEW has that mega giant with the cons, the billionaires, basically, paying for all their medical bills and stuff like that, and now they can pay for better wrestlers and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're actually like thinking about how to run a wrestling company a lot differently now too. Yeah. It's also kind of cool because there's a lot of like opportunity like out there for the wrestlers. Like, we had Andrew McRae on last week, who's known as Freedom Wallace in like the local area, and we're talking about that hey, there's like a lot of options for you guys versus 3 years ago, which was WWE or you stay with the independents.
And that's one of the most exciting things about I miss, because like remember like when like Lex Luger like appeared on Nitro and you're like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Like, these guys like really jump ship, but like they tried to do that with like Raw versus SmackDown, but like no one cares. Everyone knows that like you guys are the same company.
Also, Ernie, you can't swear on the show, man.
Did I swear?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
did you?
No.
Okay, maybe I didn't hear it. Okay, maybe not. No? Okay.
Did I swear? Yeah.
Did he swear? Our station manager, Jyoti, has no idea, so maybe not.
She tuned out when we started talking about wrestling.
we're all just swearing here.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was kind of neat seeing it on TSN.
Yeah, it was.
Like, TSN, I do love Sportsnet because Sportsnet plays, well, actually, TSN plays basketball too. Sportsnet obviously has hockey, but Channel 30 watching wrestling like back in the day that was it. That was a jam.
Yeah, that and the new VR.
The new VR.
Oh yeah,
which is what is the new VR now? I think it's like a CTV channel.
Yeah, it's CTV2. I think.
Wow,
it's like the Barry channel.
Yeah.
I remember that. It was like 1 hour Raw.
Well, because the new VR when I used to watch the 1 hour Raw.
Yeah.
The new VR also had rights to the Toronto Raptors games.
Yes.
And this is when the Raptors had just started.
And
I remember they said, the new VR, the home of the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah,
and
Marcus Camby.
Yeah, Marcus Camby. You had Herbie there.
The
actual guy who still does the voiceovers or the announcements. But yeah, the new VR, man, he's bring that back.
Yeah.
I saw. Speaking of nostalgia, this has nothing to do with AEW or WWE. Yeah. Someone's promoting a party out there with the old Electric Circus logo.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. I was like, that's a cease and desist coming.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your prediction for AEW? Do you think it's gonna last? Like, do you guys think that the momentum's gonna continue? Like, did you guys watch it? You guys watched it, right?
I watched it.
Yeah.
What did you guys think overall when it came to the wrestling, the presentation? I thought it was very, just like SmackDown on Friday. I thought it was very sportsy in regards to his presentation. There wasn't a lot of backstage stuff. It was very much wrestling heavy. I thought it was kind of cool. Like, it's the kind of show that I remember there's somebody at my work actually that came up to me and saw the marathon of shows I did during SummerSlam weekend, which I think Ricardo, you did too.
Yeah.
Thank God me and my brother are not alone. But someone at my work was like, hey, like, I thought about getting back into wrestling, but like, I don't know, like maybe I should just watch Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. And right away I tell them, hey, go watch NXT and go check it out. But now, like, with AEW being on TSN, I'd be like, hey, go check out AEW, because you might actually see something cool.
Yeah. I do feel like AEW's got that Nitro feel, you know?
It does.
You know, like with the lighting and stuff, but like Ernie, you're just saying, like, it's so cool. Like, you see these wrestlers just pop up. Even Jack Swagger or Jake Hager, just popping up out of nowhere. You're like, even that was like a pop for me. Like a little mark. I marked out, and I don't know if people, your audience knows what marking out is, but like,
probably define it. Should we define it as like?
Well, marking is like
it's what happens when you're 12 years old and you're
fan
in your bedroom by yourself.
Oh my God, no!
I think we have different definitions.
That's my new theory.
Actually, Ernie, you still feel like you still believe wrestling's real, right?
Yeah. I mark out every morning. To wrestling. Come on, you guys. It's Sunday. Relax.
Sorry, I can't even think.
No, but I like how AEW, is like sports centric, because they actually have like records. They keep.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They were actually saying like when Pac was out, like, oh, he's now 2-0.
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
great.
that's kind of neat, because like they're actually basing like. It's funny because now, as a wrestling fan, you're prone to believe that wins and losses don't matter, and that's because right away it's fake, and you're like, okay, it's fake, but then I find that you do want a sense of believability in your pro wrestling. Like, that's why I found myself really enjoying New Japan wrestling so much, because it just felt real. Some of the moves that they would do actually looked crazy real too. Like, they're super stiff up there.
Yeah, the strong style.
Yeah, the strong style, but. Again, I think that's the approach that AEW is taking, and it might end up working. Who knows?
Yeah. So I believe they're gonna. I think they can take the WWE, but not like right now, but eventually.
But like, how far do you see them going?
Oh, I see them going. They're going to last a while.
You think so?
Look at TNA; they're still alive.
Yeah, Impact Wrestling just got a record.
They died like 10 times,
and now they're funded by a Canadian company.
Yeah,
Anthem,
Anthem Sports,
and they're now have a new TV deal.
Yeah,
Access,
which Anthem ended up buying.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
It is, because you thought Anthem didn't have any more money, but they are able to purchase a TV network.
I think they'll come back, because like, remember back in like the Monday Night Wars, I think there were like 8 million people watching Raw.
That's right? The thing too. I was talking to our good friend Paul Castro, the Dandy Crisis.
Oh, Dandy Crisis.
Yeah. Shouts to Dandy Crisis. IDC. Yeah, go check him out. Him and I were talking about how everyone. Yeah, to your point, 8 million people were tuning in during the Monday Night Wars, which was when you had WWF Raw versus WCW Nitro. But there's a lot of people that dispute that. They feel like a lot like that somehow Nielsen was capturing channel flippers.
Oh,
so if you channel flipped to Nitro and then you watched Raw, you were counted as 1-1 for both.
Yeah.
So like, there's all this data, all these metrics out there saying, oh yeah, it was pretty much the same audience, because all of a sudden there was this audience that just disappeared.
Yeah.
But then when you look at WWE ratings year over year, they're just getting smaller and smaller. Yeah, which is nuts.
No, I think what happened, and also because of the internet stuff, because like basically after Raw, like I can follow Raw just watching on YouTube, and plus like PVR stuff.
Yeah.
And the thing that, because like people just stop watching because it's like all PG and stuff.
What do you think, like when it comes to AEW, why do you think it's going to bring new fans into sort of wrestling?
Because Vince McMahon, he's like an older dude. He would be like, hey, you should cut your hair to be more Canadian. He's right. Yeah.
Wow.
He has an old school.
He has done that too.
He said the N-word on the show to Booker T. You know what I mean? So he has like this older mentality, so he's not really in touch. You know what I mean? But this is Cody. You know what I mean? So like if they see something on Raw, they're like, like right now they have like the Maria stupid storyline, and like the whole Rusev, like people are like, oh, this is so stupid. So Cody and them, they're all like, oh, this is dumb. So like they're like us, they're like, okay, this is stupid.
Yeah,
we should not be doing this, and that's why you didn't see any of that on AEW. You didn't see that. stupid storylines like that.
Well, even to your point, like if you look at AEW's roster, like they have transgendered people represented. They have LGBTQ other characters represented as well. Ethnic diversity as well. Like they really push on that. It's fascinating, man. It's fascinating, like to see them kind of go in that direction. That's more representative of sort of everyday demographics versus trying to either rehash what was done in the past or become totally tone deaf when it comes to putting something out there.
Yeah. I feel like because like they're the voice of this like generation. So they know what the fans want, and that's why like even today, like we're gonna watch like Hell in the Cell or like the WWE pay-per-view. But then like, so sometimes we're like, okay, so this guy should win, this guy should lose or whatever. But then they'll just flip it because Vince McMahon, he's like, oh, it's too predictable or something. Yeah.
Well, actually, speaking of Hell in the Cell, which is tonight, which I know you guys are eager to leave the studio so we can go watch it.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Can't wait to watch that match.
You guys a big fan of The Fiend?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so we saw him at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Great entrance.
Oh, amazing.
Then right after that, I downloaded the song.
Yeah.
I played it in the car. Oh.
That was cool because I feel like if you show a character like The Fiend to somebody who's not a wrestling fan, like even when The Fiend was on, it's funny because even when Bray Wyatt wasn't The Fiend, and if you don't know what The Fiend is, he's a twisted metal type of clown a little bit. Yeah,
like the Joker, but like more twisted.
Yeah. He's kind of this alter ego for this wrestler named Bray Wyatt. And I remember like my wife actually knowing Bray Wyatt before for being the Lantern guy.
Yeah.
And then The Fiend was randomly on TV, and she's like, "Oh, who is that?" I'm like, "That's Bray Wyatt." She's like, "Wait, where's his lantern? Like, what's going on?" Like, she had no idea, but she was intrigued by it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was one of those things. It's one of those things. It's one of those characters that if it wasn't executed properly, it'd totally flop. But the execution has been awesome, where it actually it allows you to suspend your disbelief.
Exactly.
Which I think
he's very good though.
He is. He's
very
awesome.
Good, like character stuff.
Yeah.
Like I love the Bray Wyatt character. It's just that he just kept losing.
Yeah, he just kept losing and kept being irrelevant.
Well, we'll see what happens tonight. If he loses tonight, then we're like, well, there goes that character.
What are your thoughts on? Actually, we touched on it, and we'll close out the segment with this. But what are your thoughts on WWE moving to Fox and just the sort of mainstream appeal they got this week? Like The Rock was on, Cain Velasquez is now on. Yeah. So any UFC fans out there, it looks like Cain and Brock will have their rematch, but it'll be in a pro wrestling ring.
And then Tyson Fury versus
Tyson Fury,
Braun Strowman.
Like that's nuts. Seeing all that crossover, and I even include The Rock as being crossover because he's the biggest movie star out right now.
Yeah.
Like all that crossover in one show, like that was.
I'm excited because SmackDown is basically the old Raw. Like that's the A show now, and like I loved Raw before because it was 2 hours.
Yeah,
and like there's like there was at the end there was like what's it called?
Cliffhanger.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you always want to know what's happening next. But when you watch Raw, it's like 3 hours, and let's make it end.
Yeah, Raw was always for me. Even now, I put it on, and I'm usually doing something on the side,
same,
like making dinner, or doing other work. Yeah,
I barely watch Raw anymore. I just watch those highlights, like you said on YouTube now. Yeah,
awesome.
Because it's just too much.
Yeah. It's a lot of content. This week was a lot of content, man.
It was.
Even tonight, being that there's another wrestling show.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking, like the amount of wrestling I watched is crazy.
Yeah, it's a little.
I know my wife's concerned.
Does she watch?
No. She indirectly she'll pay attention. She'll
but
pay
you guys don't
attention.
watch it together.
No, like forcefully.
Would she get interested if you're interested in the match? Like you're like, let's say it was like Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
It's funny because her and I used to be big into CrossFit, so she started to have an appreciation for Seth and Becky.
True. And
then when I told them that they got together, she was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." And then she was also into, because when we started dating, I figured her and I should watch Total Divas.
True.
She was into the Kardashians. And I was like, oh, this could be like a mix, a hybrid. Yeah. So she started to get into like John Cena and Nikki Bella's relationship.
Yeah.
She definitely knows who I'm interested in. Like she likes Brie Bella and Dan O'Brien.
Yeah.
She likes like those types of things. But for the most part, I think she's just, like, I remember at one point we were in Europe a couple weeks ago, and I was like telling her about some type of, I think I was like as a joke on Instagram, I was like, oh, let me ask your thoughts about what's going on, what's happening, and she was just like, there's too many shows, I can't keep up. Leave me alone. yeah, it's like this fatigue for someone who doesn't even watch. But yeah, I guess it happens.
Way too many shows.
Way too many shows.
With the same characters.
Yeah.
Like WWE, it was just same characters.
And I'm hoping that changes because I think to really freshen it up, they have to do a legit split.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a legit split and make shows different will be beneficial.
Well, they started right now. Like they have like 2 different sets.
Yeah.
You know, before it was like the same set. I was
Yeah.
like,
I think it's cookie cutter. And it's those small
announcers.
things that make a difference.
Oh, yeah.
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 I was telling Ernie, man, that new SmackDown set makes it look so much bigger.
Oh, it does.
You know?
It was like WrestleMania level.
Yeah, it's
It looked
huge.
cool. It looked cool. You can tell they got some good money.
Yeah.
You can tell Fox definitely paid for that.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting show. We started off talking about how to look more Canadian and giving a shout out to Jagmeet Singh, and the way he handled someone coming up to him and being ignorant. And then we talked about AEW versus WWE, which my station manager tuned out on. And then now
we got some swears in there.
yeah, we did. We had a lot of swearing. CRTC is not going to be happy. And then now I want to, talk about. Let's talk about comedy. Let's talk about Louis C.K.
Oh boy,
Louis C. I know it's controversial.
oh boy.
Louis C.K. is in town right now in Toronto. I think he did like 3 or 4 shows in a row.
Hey, 6 shows.
6 shows.
Like 2
wow.
shows a night.
Yeah.
Wow. 2 shows a night.
I think it's 8.
From Wednesday till now.
Wednesday.
And it was at Yuck Yucks.
Yuck, all yeah.
And
10 shows. Yeah.
I actually didn't know that he was in town until I was downtown for dinner on Friday near Richmond, and then we left, and there was a lineup like all around the corner.
Yeah.
And I was asking my wife, like, who's here? And then she's like, I don't know. So then she looked it up. I was like, oh, Louis C.K. is here. I was like, wow, I did not expect that.
Yeah.
I did not expect that lineup. And it sounds like, and I think this has been the recurring trend when it comes to Louis C.K. and him coming back into the scene, that he does somewhat address the elephant in the room based on his canceling of having fun with himself in front of people. But it looks like people have forgiven him, and I think people in Toronto have forgiven him because the shows are sold out.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me, I don't know if this is maybe a drastic comparison, but it reminds me of when all the allegations towards Bill Cosby were coming out, and then he went to like Hamilton and did a show, and there was like an activist group out there calling him out, and it was just weird stuff, man. Weird stuff. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts? Like, were you guys Louis C.K. fans? Like, Ricardo, we'll begin with you.
Yeah, man, I liked them a lot.
Yeah.
But
No. Did you try getting a ticket to the show? The one that's coming?
right now, no, I wouldn't try. But the people who went there, who went to go support him, good on you.
Yeah.
I think Louis C.K. is trying to do his job, right, and just trying to support his family. Yuck Yucks, saw the opportunity to book this guy, get some publicity.
Yeah.
Why not? They say any publicity is good publicity, basically, right? But for me, I wouldn't have gone.
Yeah.
Even if someone gave me a free ticket, not for me.
It's weird, eh?
Yeah.
It's weird because how would you explain it to somebody? It's like, I'm gonna go check Louis C.K. and the first thing they think about is, oh, well, he whipped it out and started having fun with himself in front of women.
Yeah, which is weird because like people are making him seem like the victim here.
Yeah, and that's the double-edged sword here.
Yeah.
Is some people feel that all should be forgiven, and at the end of the day, what did he actually do? I remember Dave Chappelle brought it up in his new stand-up. But some people are like, no, man, he's damaged goods. Why would you want to spend money on that? But clearly, Torontonians are. Ernie, what about you, man? Did you get a ticket? Did you go?
I did not get a ticket. They were all sold out.
So you tried?
No, I didn't try. But but a lot of my friends went. A lot of my comic friends went.
And what did they say?
They loved it.
Really? Eh?
So then at the end, I was like, oh man, I should have. Because they're actually pretty cheap. They're like $35. Like,
wow.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't condone what he did, but I'm just saying, like, he's still one of the funniest.
Because I guess the last time he was in Toronto, he played like a bigger venue, right?
He played the Air Canada Center.
Oh, snap! Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or Scotiabank Arena. Sorry.
So even that, Scotiabank's gonna call you. Sorry
about that.
even with that, that's crazy. Like, you go from filling up a gigantic venue like the Scotiabank Arena to now doing, consecutive sold out shows at a club like Yuck Yucks. But how many people is that? Like 100 people?
No, it was like 300.
300 people? Yeah.
Yeah, so like let's say 600 a night
Yeah.
So it's like 12,000 people.
What's based on sort of the comedians within your close circle? Was there any negative feedback to Yuck Yucks for doing this?
Because it was announced a few weeks ago, and then like I was like, is that real? But then there's like so every time someone posted on Facebook, there's all this like backlash and stuff, and like even when people just said, hey, I enjoyed the show, there's always someone like, oh really?
Yeah.
Do you know what he did? Like they're like, yeah, we know, but we still like his material.
Yeah.
Like, they're not saying, hey, we should all do what he did, but he's still, one of the best.
There was a couple of people, I feel like it was a similar vibe when Aziz Ansari came last year.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that drastic, because I'm on the other side of the fence with Aziz. Like I think he's in the clear. Like, I think it just sounded like a really bad date. But
I agree with you, Nav.
Yeah, thank you, Ricardo. Appreciate it.
Back, man.
But
new theory.
Yeah, new theory. Thank you. Yeah, you also get your 25 cents.
Excellent.
Ernie's up to 50 cents right now.
Thank you.
But do you how strongly do you guys believe in cancel culture? And Ricardo, will begin with you. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah, man.
Because you're rocking an NWO hat.
Oh, man.
That Hollywood Hogan probably was going to rock.
He probably would have rocked it with his balding head. I don't know, man. It's so strange because we, as comedians, we want to do our job, right? We just want to tell jokes and make people laugh.
Yeah. But
it's hard when people get offended over something so silly. But for this thing, the Louis thing, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it because there's people who probably gone through that sort of same situation where there's a person in power and puts you in a position where you feel powerless.
Yeah.
And so you got to feel for those type of people, like the victims.
Yeah.
But people want to cancel Dave Chappelle. From
his new one.
Yeah,
I thought his new one was hilarious, man.
I thought so too, to be honest. But again, there's a group of people who didn't find it funny.
Yeah,
and it's hard, man, because all he's trying to do is tell some jokes.
Even this is a far away comparison, but the new Joker movie came out, and people are trying to cancel the movie.
Yeah,
because they were like, "Oh, it's going to
incite violence."
Yeah, incite violence. Give incels an opportunity to do whatever they want in society. Do you find that people are overthinking things? And Ernie, maybe we'll get your perspective on this.
Yeah, Ernie.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen the movie, but
I still want to see it.
Me too.
Yeah. I might watch it tonight, actually.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna watch Hell in the Cell?
Oh no, after.
Oh, okay.
It's at 11 o'clock.
That's a long night.
Yeah. I will see. I don't know. I just got a CPAP machine. So.
Did you?
Yeah. Last week.
Congrats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the sleeping machine.
Yeah. So I'm less tired now.
Do you guys have sleep apnea?
I do. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Ernie, you do too?
Yeah.
I haven't tried it, but I heard it's the best sleep of your life.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. I want to try it. I remember, this is totally digressing, but I did take a sleep study once.
And what did they say?
They said I have a couple smaller apneas. They told me, if you work out a lot more, it should be fine. But I almost felt like at the end they were trying to sell me a CPAP out of fear. Like, oh, but you never know. You can gain more weight.
Yeah.
And you might need more, or, it might get worse.
Well, they probably should have offered you to do that mouth guard, probably. That probably would have helped.
I heard the mouth guard's pretty good, too.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it. That's the one where they form it to your mouth, and you just pop it in when you go to sleep.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you wake up, tired and stuff? I mean, with headaches?
I don't know. I find that I have a lot of seasonal allergies that happen year-round.
Oh.
So I started to do different nasal sprays and all that. That usually helps me.
Yeah.
But, it's getting very deep on CPAPs. And
I actually don't have my sleep study here. It's
right up the road. Same one.
Were you there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because they put all these wires on.
Yeah, so I did the test last month, and it was the worst sleep of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It usually is. That's why I feel like the actual study is kind of flawed. But
yeah, because you're hooked up with all these wires, and you can't even move.
You can't even move, and you can't.
Because when you sleep on your back, that's when it's the worst because your tongue blocks your throat.
Exactly.
So then they said I had really bad sleep apnea. But the guy was cool, and he wasn't trying to sell me anything. So, but I've heard stories my friends were don't buy anything, they're scammers.
Yeah.
But then I had my family doctor. He recommended me to this other place,
Oh yeah.
So they went to get
It worked out.
Yeah.
Do you think Louis C.K. has a CPAP?
I don't know. Does he?
I got nothing. But yeah, what's your guys' thoughts on cancel culture? Do you think people should be canceled?
I think it depends.
Are people
on
getting too sensitive?
What they do. But yeah, because like if the like the Joker movie you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what. Like I didn't see the movie yet, so I can't really say. But are these people that trying to cancel the Joker seen the movie? You know what I mean? Like
they haven't seen the movie.
If they haven't even seen the movie, then like, what are you talking about?
I think it was like the description of the character and just everything he's like everything that's been depicted in the actual trailers. Apparently, there was an interview this week that Joaquin Phoenix did that he walked out of because the critic was like, "Oh, how do you feel about this movie? Giving people the right to instill violence and attack whoever they want and just follow the lead of your main character," and he just pieced out.
He probably felt it was like one of the stupidest questions he ever heard.
Maybe,
like why? Yeah. Like why? Like what? You go see Terminator. Is that going to cite violence? With robots? No, that doesn't make any sense. But you know what I'm saying? But like you like see Rambo, or something. Yeah. I don't know.
So you're just gonna get jacked up, put a bandana on, and go ham.
Yeah.
What do you guys like the fact that Louis? Because I'm sure you guys have heard the set or heard of the set. Mm-hmm. Do you guys like the fact that he addresses the allegations and kind of shrugs them off and moves on? Do you think that's the way to go?
Well, he had to say something about it.
Yeah.
I mean, even like Aziz started with it too.
Yeah.
On his special. So.
I actually haven't seen that special yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Aziz one. Was it good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he talks about that stuff.
Yeah. I know some people that went to the Toronto show and they said it was good last year.
Oh, Aziz was here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he was filming the Netflix stuff. I don't know if like the new the Netflix special is like a mix, like it's filmed from different parts.
No, I think he was somewhere in the States.
Show, probably in Brooklyn or something.
I forgot where it was.
What would you do if your favorite comedian got canceled tomorrow? Would you? And it's somebody that you looked up to.
Well, it depends on what they did. Like if they did like a Chris Benoit or something, then maybe but you can't really just jump to conclusions
especially because like you think about what Louis C.K. did, and in no way am I sticking up for him, but you think about what he did, and you think about the lives that celebrities and rock stars and all these different people have lived prior.
Yeah,
like it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of untold stories out there.
A lot.
But even like in wrestling, there's a lot of people that. Let's say Stone Cold. There's stories that he beat his wife.
Yeah.
But like millions and millions of people still love Stone Cold.
Yeah, that's true too. Like there's, I think everyone kind of has skeletons, right?
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. What would you say to somebody that has tickets to Louis C.K.?
Enjoy the show.
Yeah. Would you want to hear about it?
I heard enough like from other people, but man, enjoy the show. You bought a ticket.
Yeah.
Have fun. Don't heckle.
Yeah.
It's a comedy show.
Do you ever since like these incidents started coming up to whether it's Dave Chappelle, people demanding he gets canceled after his Netflix special, what happened to Aziz, obviously what's going on with Louis, has it made you think about your material differently?
Not for me, because I'm mostly self-deprecating.
So you mainly poke fun at yourself.
Yeah, I only make fun of myself, so other people can laugh at me.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah. Except when you cry on stage.
Yeah. That's during my set and
okay.
After.
That's before the set.
Before the set too.
Oh, wow. That's how I get in the zone a little bit.
Yeah. A little cry.
A little cry. Pre-cry.
That's good cry.
Yeah, nice good cry.
In the car.
Ern, what about you? Is that why you geared it towards Inspire? Because you wanted to create more positive content?
Yeah, of course. Like I try not to, like that's why I said off the top that I rarely get heckled because my material is very, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause like when you talk about politics or religion or stuff like that, then it sparks this, even people like who are not even, let's say because I'm Catholic, let's say I make fun of, I don't know, another religion or something. Even people that aren't part of that religion would be like, I'm offended for that religion.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, just how they are, you know? So I try not to go on, like, talk about those topics, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of just steer clear.
Yeah, like I'm working on these new bits about pizza, you know? So.
Do you
No
want
one's
to
gonna be like, hey.
give us a taste?
Well, you can come on Tuesday to the Corner Con Club.
Wow.
East, the Forest
Cheap
Comedy.
plug for shows that don't even happen in Brampton, Mississauga.
Oh, sorry. This was in Leslieville.
I used to run shows in Mississauga.
Oh yeah, which venue?
That was like a bar.
Oh, yeah.
But like they didn't
Valley
care.
Bar.
Yeah, Valley Bar, but they didn't care.
Wasn't there a comedy bar like in Port Credit, or a spot for comedy in Port Credit?
There's a couple. So it was
Yeah,
like,
you did a show there. Was it the theater?
yeah, the Clark Memorial Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was
Because I feel like Port Credit would be a good area for a comedy.
you
club.
know what? It would be.
They actually have a Port Credit comedy festival.
Yeah, they do.
Really?
Yeah.
It would be, but like it's hard to get people
Really,
to
eh?
come and to watch comedy. in
Yeah.
Mississauga.
Yeah.
I'll have to represent Mississauga all I can, but like for comedy, it's hard.
I
But
know.
Toronto's just like a way better crowd.
Yeah.
Because like I used to show at Mississauga Yuck Yucks, and like they were very conservative.
It's on Dundas, right?
Dixie Eglinton.
Sorry, Dixie Eglinton.
Well, it was there.
Yeah.
They're not
Rest
there
in
anymore.
peace, you Mississauga Young Cooks.
Oh wait, it closed down.
They closed down like a couple years
Wow,
ago.
really?
3 years ago. Yeah.
I think it still follows me on Twitter, but maybe not really.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it's a defunct account.
Yeah, so I remember there because like a bunch of Toronto comics would come down there and then they'll talk about like smoking the drugs.
Oh,
And like the crowd.
marijuana is legal, so it's fine.
Oh yeah. No, back then it was still like you can.
Back then they were whispering their jokes.
Yeah. So no, because in Toronto they're very much open to it. Like we actually have like weed rooms.
Yeah.
In Toronto, like you can smoke weed in there and stuff. So, but then when the Toronto comics would come to Mississauga and talk about like weed, a lot of the Mississauga people were like audience were parents.
Those represent sugar daddies.
Yeah.
So was that the jam? You go to Yuck Yucks and you go to Sugar Daddy time? I feel like Ricardo did.
No, it was for me. It was the Yuck Yucks and then the Tim Hortons nearby.
Oh.
Yeah,
For like a double?
no, for the Boston Cream Donut.
The Boston Cream Donut. But oh god, no. Oh, we got a crier. The first crier on New Theory Radio is Ricardo Miejias.
Hey, it's a new theory.
Yeah. Okay, another question before we close this off.
True.
Let's say you stumbled. Like, would you feel weird laughing at one of Louis C.K.'s jokes?
No, I still respect him as a comedian.
Yeah.
Like, I still respect his
So
style.
considering all the negative feedback, the canceling, the support, if he cracks a funny joke, you'd still laugh.
Yeah, like I actually wanted to like if someone had a ticket today,
You go.
I'd be like come to the 8 o'clock show. I'm like I'm there.
But that's the thing. I feel like you wanting a ticket is like more of like curiosity of like, oh, how's this going to be? Like it's almost like I don't want to say it's like train wreck curiosity,
Yeah.
but it's like maybe it is. Maybe it is a little. Maybe it's almost
It's a little bit because I've heard like really good reviews because a lot of comics that I respect have been to the shows and they were saying he's still one of the best.
Really?
And I'm like yeah. So like I'm not like huge Louis C.K. fan. You know what I mean? Like even if he was here. Right, like I still
like sitting
I saw
right
him,
here with us.
No, I mean like when he was at a show, like I've never seen him live or anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I still respect him as a comedian.
Do you feel like he'll bounce back? Like you think he'll come back and he'll be able to do the Scotiabank again?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, if these like 10 shows sold out have said anything that
Because he's doing this type of tour, I guess, all around, right? Like I think these small.
Well, it's like pop-ups. So like, it's like the Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
thing. Dave Chappelle did a couple shows here and there.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden he's back.
It's a good way to test the market, I guess.
It is.
Like I went to when Chappelle did the pop-ups at Danforth during All-Star Weekend. I managed to get tickets, which was awesome. And his first 2 Netflix specials ended up being like.
Combination of
Yeah,
those,
yeah, pretty much like that show, but like split into 2.
Yeah.
But hey, man, like if you've been scrutinized for so long by the media, well, like I guess this approach is the one that you want to do to test the market and see if you still matter, right?
True.
Yeah. Amazing.
As a comedy fan, I hope for the best.
Yeah. I think everyone likes a good comeback story. I don't know if this is considered a comeback story, but we'll see. Yeah. Like I think part of the reason why
come back.
Oh God. Okay,
no.
I didn't mean it like that, but sure. PG folks, PG. But what I was gonna say, But I think the issue with Louis, and this is my last take on him, is that it seems very unapologetic.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I feel.
Yeah,
I don't feel like he actually apologized.
Yeah. I feel like he's just kind of moving on, and it's almost like he's trying to be that slapstick persona. Like he's going to be that guy, the degenerate, if we use a another wrestling term.
But Nav, like, can I ask you a question? Like, let's say he apologized to the victims, right? Does he owe an apology to the rest of the world?
I don't know. I don't think he does. I don't know, because he apologized to the people that he offended. Maybe I don't know, but maybe because maybe he ended up, because there were so many people that looked up to him, and he was such a big figure over the last 10 years in comedy. Maybe there were a couple people that looked up to him that were really disappointed. Yeah, and maybe that ended up either affecting their careers. Maybe they decided to get out of comedy because everything they felt like they believed in wasn't true. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird to see that. I had one of my my best friend was a big Bill Cosby guy. Big fan, loved the Cosby Show back in university. If it was ever on, we'd watch it. Yeah, I remember Cosby at the time. He loved Hamilton for some reason, so he was in Hamilton during that moment.
Did you go?
I saw him actually.
The Hamilton one?
No, I went to Casino Niagara or Fallsview Casino,
and that was years ago, right?
Yeah, it was before his this Cannibal Buress made the joke
before he coined Me Too.
Yeah.
And now it's hard. For him, he was like, dude, what do I do? And same thing with Michael Jackson recently too, right? He played Michael Jackson at his wedding, and he was nervous about it. Yeah. So I don't know. It's going to be one of those recurring topics. We do talk about it a lot here on New Theory Radio, but it's always good to get different perspectives. Want to thank the both of you guys for joining us here.
Hey, thank you.
This was a lot of fun. If people want to connect with you guys, let me know. Feel free to let them know your socials and anything you have coming up. Ricardo, we'll begin with you.
Oh, okay. I'm at Ricardo Comedian on Instagram and Twitter, and you can also like me on Facebook at Muy Caliente Comedy.
Oh wow, is that your brand?
That's my brand.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And I guess reach out to you for graphic design as well.
Yeah, reach out if you want to.
All right. reach out and touch faith.
Exactly.
Ernie, what about you, man? Where can people hit you up?
You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter, whatever, at Ernie Vicente. And I have shows every Tuesday at the Corner Comedy Club East in Leslieville, and Fridays at Comedy Pow at 120 Diner, Church and Richmond every Friday night.
You had Ali Hassan recently.
He just headlined 2 nights ago.
Yeah,
Friday,
it's like a swing host of CBCQ. Someone who's very well known in the scene. Going to have him on the show on a future episode as well, which is great. And yes, thank you both for joining us. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Yanique Brandford, who is the founder of an awesome charity called Help a Girl Out. We are going to be talking about a wonderful initiative that she has coming up for the holiday season here on News Talk, Saga 960 AM. Back here on New Theory Radio on News Talk Saga 960 AM. My name is Nav Nanwa. I am your host, and this is a show where we theorize on all things current affairs, pop culture, and everyday life. And yes, it is that time here on the show that we do our special community segment where we see what's going on in the community, and we promote a lot of wonderful initiatives, events, fundraisers, all that goodness. And we really have some deep conversations for the last half an hour of the show. And joining me in studio is someone who is the founder of a wonderful charity called Help a Girl Out, or known as HAGO. HAGO. It is Yanique Brandford. Yanique, thanks so much for joining us here in studio.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Anytime. Super excited to talk to you about your upcoming product drive that you have for the holiday season, benefiting underprivileged girls in Jamaica. Yeah. And actually, our resident photographer, Amit, here is a good friend of yours, and he actually brought your charity to me and told me all the amazing things that you've been doing. And I thought it'd be great to get you on to talk more about this and just how it came about. But before we jump into that and this wonderful initiative, how did you what was the premise behind Help a Girl Out? What made you want to start this charity?
Oh, how did I start? So
it sounds like a story.
Yeah, it's a long story. But as a kid growing up in Jamaica, after our parents outsourced all the money to all the primary needs, like food, transportation, school fee and stuff like that, there was no money left for like the small things, which was this time of the month that every woman goes through. So we ended up having to use like very unconventional, like degrading means, at those times of the month. But it was okay because, a lot of families around us was doing the same thing as well. So it was fine. But then I came to Canada and like I escaped the poverty that I was living in. And then I saw it happening here in Toronto as well.
Oh, no.
So I got so angry that I started a nonprofit. Not a lot of people get angry and start nonprofits, but
usually you get inspired, but you got angry, which I love. Yeah. But even when you get angry, you want to do something about it.
Yeah, this is a first world country. I said Canada's economy can handle like having these products made free, like in schools and places where we need it. And so I started it here, but as we know that it's so rampant in other countries as well, like India and developing countries.
Exactly.
So we're international.
That's awesome. That's good. And what I like about the name Help a Girl Out is you really can gear it towards anything that helps girls out. Yeah. It's like, it's not like specific. It's very much about female empowerment and making sure everyone is seeking equality all across the globe.
Exactly.
If you don't mind me asking, like, what kind of conditions were you seeing that were similar to what you had seen in Jamaica versus what you're seeing now in sort of the GTA?
So this is the situation where the day I got angry, I saw someone, they were using the Tim Hortons washroom to clean up.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
And she had the cup that she was collecting change in. And at the same time, I thought, is she going to use that change to buy food? Or what if this is her time of the month,
Yeah.
How is she going to get it? And at that time, these products weren't free in the shelters. Now it is, but recently. Thank God for that. But that's why I got angry. So I realized that a lot of the homeless population or the low-income population, after they've spent so much money on rent or food, or maybe they just don't have a job, how are they going to afford these things? And then when you use other methods to satisfy your needs, you normally get like illnesses, blisters.
Of course.
Or if it's a girl in school, she can't focus or she stays home. That's days missed. You know what I mean? So I got angry.
You know why? It's fascinating you mentioned that, because even when it comes to just low income, or even when it comes to like people, I'm definitely a lot older than you, but people within your age demographic that are either trying to make ends meet by affording rent or to help out their families. Like nowadays, like an average place to rent in Toronto will end up becoming like 30% of your total income, which is crazy to think about. Like, and this is the same across the board. So if you're working minimum wage and you're renting a room somewhere in Toronto in the core, it's costing you a lot. Like how are you?
I know people that it's costing them 80%.
Yeah, literally
of their total income.
There's nothing like how are you going to eat?
Left.
How are you going to take care of yourself?
Exactly.
How are you going to pay for transportation? Like, it's such a grind right now to even make things happen. When did the charity start?
The charity started from my own community. I used to just like help out girls. I wasn't counting. I didn't know people would ask me about the numbers. So at that time, I was just like helping whoever came along. But we were registered as a nonprofit last year, January.
Excellent. Congrats.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then from there, you've just been working on different initiatives.
Yeah, I basically, the reason why I registered it, because I'm a full-time student. So, I thought I would start something, but not too much, because I have a lot on my plate.
Yeah.
But the reason I registered is because like I ran out of money and my family ran out of money of funding it ourselves.
Yeah.
So we registered it so that we could go to bigger companies and ask like, hey, we need donations,
But that's smart though, because a lot of companies nowadays are looking for specific things to sponsor that aren't your generalized charities. Like they want to work with charities, or they want to work with groups that actually are going to action a lot of what they're talking about or really show results. And it seems like you're doing that. Yeah. So with this new holiday program that you're focusing on, where it looked, from what I was reading based on the email that you sent me, it was I think you're looking to support 500 underprivileged girls.
It's 600 now.
600. Wow. So one up since a couple weeks ago.
It was 500, but it's 600 Jamaican girls. We're supporting them during after Christmas. Actually, it's early January because the ticket prices are super crazy this Christmas. But early January, we're going to 5 different Jamaican schools, and we're supporting 600 girls. Yeah.
Awesome. And how are you supporting them?
So we have our Help a Girl Out bags, and we pack them with all the hygiene necessities that they would need to survive.
Excellent.
So it's not even just the menstrual products. It's also like toothpaste, rags, soaps.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, as a kid, and even now, because I went back this summer and I saw that it's still happening. It's crazy. But these girls, like, they've been using like fruits to, like, you know, like for deodorant and stuff.
Wow,
like, it's crazy.
really?
Like, who uses an apple to freshen up?
Yeah.
Like, it's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nuts because, again, like, I hate to, this is probably privilege speaking now, but you don't think about those things when you're living here. Like, you absolutely don't. Like, and it's interesting you mention hygiene products, because now when I think about going, like, I went to India for the first time 2 years ago, and I think about just things that my wife was bringing with her to India. A lot of it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to buy presents, like I'm going to buy electronics, I'm going to buy like this, and this. A lot of it was like necessity stuff that she was bringing over, because again, even though like our family out in India is like living fine, there's still some things that they just don't have access to, or still some things that like are a lot better here that aren't good there that they could, you know, benefit from. Like, I find that to be the most fascinating thing as well, is just, you know, seeing the differences amongst countries and seeing just what some people are able to have versus some people aren't. And you know, kudos to you for identifying that. What's been the process like so far?
Oh my God. Yeah, it's been stressful. I can say.
I figured,
just going around collecting donations. You have to have a certain type of personality. I was soft-spoken before. I'm not anymore.
I was going to say, I'm like, you're not soft-spoken now.
I'm not
you got like
anymore.
a fire. You got a fire.
I got to, you know, ignite that fire, get people to see that this cause is worth, you know.
Yeah.
And
how are you going about doing that? Like, how are you, so what's your approach to really make this at the forefront for a lot of people?
So my major campaigns have been at Ryerson because I'm a full-time student there.
Excellent.
So I have gone around to the Toronto community mostly. I've gotten a lot of support from my physics department because I study physics.
Awesome.
And yeah, Instagram has been my major platform, and Facebook, and I have my website. It's up and running. And we collect donations through the website, and you can contact us through the website. I'm a very available person, so a lot of people arrange meetings with me, and
Excellent.
I contact them that way.
Good for you.
And the main way that we collect our products is we host drives.
Oh,
so it's not just me hosting a product drive.
Yeah.
I go to, last year we did one at Rogers. I went to them. I'm like, this is what we're collecting. And they sent out a mass email to everyone in the company.
That's awesome.
And they just put up boxes and like collected stuff and then dropped them off.
That's it.
Yeah.
And
it's that simple.
And it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
It makes such a difference, especially now, like when you start to think about the holidays coming up, even with Thanksgiving this weekend. There's a lot of people even here locally that aren't going to be able to have like a Thanksgiving dinner.
Exactly.
And it makes you think, like, that's not happening here locally. What makes you think, like, what's happening outside of Canada?
Yeah.
So I think it's great. And also I love the fact that you're targeting sort of the areas surrounding Ryerson, because there is like a prominent Caribbean population amongst there, where a lot of people are Jamaican. They have family back home. So it's probably easier to relate to them, especially when you think about areas like Brampton that are so multicultural.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up outside of growing up with a lot of South Asian friends. Like, I had a lot of Jamaican friends as well, a lot of Caribbean friends, and like, man, going back home for them was such a big deal for being able to, you know, not only think about home in a positive light, but being able to help out and do what they could to make life easier for like their family and their cousins and their aunts and uncles out there. So no, kudos to you for doing that. What's the ultimate goal with Help a Girl Out? Like, if you could think about Help a Girl Out 5 years from now, and the fact that you're focusing on really just making the lives easier of little girls across the country, what would be Yanique's vision for all this?
Yanique's vision for Help a Girl Out. Okay, so there's one depending on the country that we're talking about.
Give me by country.
Okay, for Canada, 5 years from now, I'm giving them 6 years, so 2025. I want these products to be in every female washroom, regardless of where we are, just like toilet paper, just like the paper to dry your hands. It's a necessity. And like 50% of your population needs this.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It should be in every single washroom, schools, primary schools, post-secondary schools, middle schools, workplaces, public washrooms at the mall. Like, that's my vision for Canada, and I'm giving them 6 years to do it. And I'm going to collaborate with as many companies and groups as I can to let that happen.
Good for you.
For Jamaica, I don't think their economy can handle it right now to make it free in every washroom. But I am going to put stuff in place that at least the girls that are in schools will have it so that they don't have to stay home.
Yeah.
So 5 years from now, in Jamaica or in the rest of the Caribbean, because it's not just Jamaica. Jamaica's just this year's drive. I mean, next year we could be going to Barbados, or the Bahamas just got hit by like a really huge storm.
They did.
So they probably need some help over there as well. And there are not a lot of organizations like mine. I think there's only one other one in the Caribbean that's doing this. So like all those countries need help. So within the next 5 years, I'm focused on girls in school.
Amazing.
For those countries. Yeah.
Good for you. That's awesome. That's why anyone who decides to go to Jamaica or the Caribbean for a vacation, obviously go out and enjoy your vacation, but also think about the people that live there and think about just how they don't have the same necessities that we have, and how what you can do to better their lives. Because, you know, equality for all at the end of the day. Like, no one, when it comes to basic hygiene, there shouldn't be any issues. Like, people should be able to access these types of products.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about reaching out to specific companies that produce these products and being like, hey, this is what's going on. A simple product donation can go a long way.
It's funny that you said that. I have been reaching out to a couple of them. I've reached out to Always and Kotex. I've gotten to run around from a few of them, but recently I got invited to a big event with National Geographic, Global Citizen, and Procter & Gamble.
Wow.
This was just last week. They screened a new documentary centered around period poverty, which is something that they've never covered before.
Yeah.
So I was so impressed, and they came to Toronto and they found our organization. They really wanted to recognize us. And so I got to speak to a lot of high up people in the Procter & Gamble company, and they have donated 600 care packages. So all 600 girls that were sponsoring Jamaica, they're already taken care of.
Wow.
I already have the stuff for them.
Amazing.
But like, we're still collecting for like the other like local and the other islands as well that we'll be going to next year.
Excellent. Congrats on that. It's
you.
good to see like
Thank
these
you.
big companies do like help out organizations like yours, because, you know, I think we've all been there in situations where we've tried to reach out to big companies for support, but sometimes you're just, you're just non-existent, or, you know, you're just one of thousands of asks that they get daily. That's hard to stand out. But I think you having that FaceTime is fantastic. Yeah. No, this is a great initiative. I urge everyone to go help a girl out, as Yanique was mentioning. If people want to connect with you and learn more, actually, what can people do to help you out right now as you still work through this product drive?
Okay, so this product drive, the need that I have right now is the shipping to Jamaica. So right now we're down $2,000. I know. In order to make this successful. So for the next 2 months, that's what we'll be collecting. We accept donations via our website, helpagirlout.org. And yeah, you just get on the website. There are like 5 different methods to donate. E-transfer, GoFundMe, PayPal, you know what I mean? Gives you a lot of options.
Yeah.
Or you can just contact us directly and just donate products if that's what, you know.
Mm-hmm. And 2,000 is not a lot.
It's not a lot.
2,000 is not a lot. So I urge everyone to go help out, especially if you do live in the GTA. I'm sure there's a bunch of you that have family in the Caribbean, specifically Jamaica. Go help out Yanique in this wonderful cause. It's truly worth it. It's truly a game changer. And like we mentioned earlier, no one should be without good hygiene. Like,
exactly.
Especially when it comes to the hygienic products, like they should be readily available, and let's make sure that happens. Yanique, if anyone wants to connect with you and the charity or any of the initiatives that you're working on for the upcoming months, including this one, what's the best way to do that? Visit
our website, helpagirlout.org, and there are many boxes where you can just send me an email, or you can donate, or you can host your own product drive. The website just basically tells you like everything that you can do, how you can volunteer. Even if you're a big company, it tells you what you can do as a company together to like build team spirit and stuff like that. So yeah, just visit our website. It's all there, or they can call me.
Yeah, I'll probably include your number. Well, I guess your number's on the website, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
cool. Yeah, I was like, I don't know if you want to say your number out loud here, but Yanique, thanks so much for joining us here on New Theory Radio, and best of luck. Honestly, I think this is a wonderful initiative, and no, I think you'll more than exceed your goal as you head into delivering these kits to the 600 Jamaican impoverished girls that need them. So thanks so much for coming on New Theory Radio. And it is about that time that we conclude this week's episode. But if you've missed it, it does re-air tomorrow, which is Monday from 8 to 10 p.m. Or maybe you're already listening to it on Monday from 8 to 10 p.m. So if you missed it, it will be available as a podcast. And to listen to that, search New Theory Radio on iTunes and Spotify. Or visit New Theory Radio's website, which is www.newtheoryradio.com. I want to give a special thanks to Ricardo Miejias as well as Ernie Vicente, two awesome comedians. Go out and support them. They were absolutely hilarious. Really enjoyed speaking to them, as well as Yanique Brandford from Help a Girl Out. Go help her charity as she provides products, hygienic products, to 600 girls living in Jamaica currently. You will I can't even talk right now, but you will hear all of us next week for another edition of New Theory Radio. Please take care. Have a wonderful week. And yes, you will hear all of us next time. Peace.
Stream us live at saga960am.ca.
At American University, we don't just hope for change, we create it. We don't just dream of a better world, we make it a reality. With a graduate degree from AU, you'll access expert faculty and connections throughout DC to develop skills and experience to turn your passion into purpose. And that purpose can make all the difference in your career. Discover the difference a degree makes at american.edu/grad school.